Tonight, a Duluth man charged in the stabbing death of his wife has been found incompetent to stand trial for now. 37-year-old Gerardo Cope is charged with second-degree murder with intent in the June death of his wife, Anissa Cope. Duluth police found her dead in the couple's apartment in Duluth's Lincoln Park neighborhood from apparent stab wounds. And today, a Duluth judge ruled that Cope is incompetent to proceed in the trial due to mental illness and cognitive impairment. But this isn't set in stone. The court suspended criminal proceedings and ordered that Cope must participate in a competency attainment program, quote, when one is available. The goal of these programs is to restore legal competency in defendants so they can fully participate in the proper legal process related to their crime. At this time, it is unknown when Cope would be enrolled in one of these programs.